interrupt this broadcast to deliver a special message. It's a new day, a new dawn, a new era. It's my honor to introduce to you somebody.
Alright, cool. Welcome back to it. UnFit Podcast, episode 3. I go by the name of Lefa, your main guy.
I go by Thato.
Thato with the facts. Episode 3, welcome back to it. We've put out episode 1. I think we've hung out. We held closely to that episode, but it's finally out there. Check us out on YouTube, UnFit Podcast. I think we're available on all streaming platforms now.
Yeah, we should be available on Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Podcast as well.
Yeah. So yeah, please do check out our first episode. We're gonna drop episode 2 again as well next week. That's coming. It's in the cut, and then obviously episode 3 also dropping next week. Let's get. You know, there's one thing that I noticed. You know how artists always say that they make so much music, but they hang on to it and they just never release it.
Yeah, because you want it to be good.
That's how I felt about our episode 1. We held on to it for so long and kept editing it and watching it, replaying it, seeing if it's worth it until we got our final cut.
Yeah, but sometimes you just gotta get it out there.
Sometimes you just gotta put it out there and let the people consume it.
Yeah,
and yeah,
let's see what comes back.
So yeah, let's get it. It's been a tough week, I think, for South Africans this week, especially for the youth of South Africa.
Same old.
FeesMustFall is back at it. Something that I thought we dealt with when I was still a varsity student 6 years ago. We're seeing it happening again. What's your take there?
It never changes. It's always the same thing. I don't know. I think we just need a new government personally.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like, nothing's gonna change right now as is. We need new people who are more, say, I don't know. I feel like people who care about their jobs.
Yeah.
People who care about
the youth.
Yeah. You know, because
we're one looking to pocket money for themselves before they retire.
You know what I mean? Like,
what do you think we didn't do in 2016, or the SRC didn't do in 2016, that the new SRCs can probably try do in the
look, I think also, like, right now the problem is that like it's like a different sort of issue, right? Like, whereas in 2015 we were more fighting against like the increases, because the increases were like really, really steep.
Yeah.
This year it's more about like people just being allowed to register despite the whole NSFAS issue, because like that money is not that, and historical debt as well. So I think now it's more of a registration issue rather than like a fees increase issue.
Oh, yeah.
So like, I think back in 2015, like when you were doing that every day, it was very tiring. It was draining, you know.
Yeah.
So I think we also just got like fatigued, and when they said, okay, fine, we're not going to increase the fees, everybody was just like, okay, fine, let's go home, we're done, we've won. I think that's where the problem lies as well for us as well. So I guess this is just like the next step in the fight, but we keep fighting every step of the way. They know what the problem is. They know that, you know, university education is expensive. You know, it's not a surprise. They knew this was gonna happen, and still we're here and we have to fight.
We gotta call a spade a spade. Majority of the affected people are black people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just one other thing. Do you think free quality education is possible?
I think so. Yes, I think it's possible.
So this is definitely a fight worth fighting for.
Yeah, definitely. If there's any fight worth fighting, it's definitely this one.
I think we gotta say that RIP to Tokosizi. I think he's the guy that
got shot. Yes.
An innocent bystander that got shot. So I mean, prayers to his family. I know he had about 3 kids. He just obtained his master's degree. So yeah, man, it really is a sad time. I was actually thinking about it, right? That FeesMustFall, I think it was 2016 at the time when I was still back in varsity,
I think it was 2015 as well, actually.
Between 2015 and 2016. I think it was the first time I got wind of Focalistic. Because he had just released the free Rasi track. I think our if you at the time, if you were at the University of Pretoria, you would have known that our SRC guy had been arrested during those protests. I think his name was Razi, and Foka dropped on SoundCloud Free Rassi, and I think that's when a lot of people started getting wind of him. I mean, at that time, I was part of the university radio station, and I remember him coming and dropping that track off by us. So it was kind of like a nostalgic moment for me, and to see him now,
how far he's
the
come,
billboards,
you know what I mean?
And that's just like what 4 or 5 years. That's great, man.
It is great. It is great, and also like, you know, he's a multi-layered person as well. You know, he was making music that's relevant to where he was at the time.
At the time, yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's not just a piano party guy. He can actually make, you know what I mean?
I'd encourage everyone to go back to his SoundCloud page if it's still out there and just listen
to his old stuff as well.
Yeah, to the stuff he was putting out back then. It wasn't, I mean, like Thato saying, he's been able to reinvent himself over the years. I mean, based on what is happening currently in amongst the youth. Yeah. So that's really dope to see. King Zweletini died. It's also another sad thing for the week.
Yeah, it is sad. I don't know.
You know, I kept thinking, and I'm gonna mix this with what the interview that came out I think Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember, early on in the week with Oprah and Meghan and Harry. How are monarchs created? Like, who decides that? Yo, shit. Okay, this is the real
bro.
Family.
Man, I don't think it was like any sort of democratic process, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
You know, it's always gonna be like the family with the resources, or the family with the strongest warriors. You need to assert some sort of dominance over your society. You know what I mean? Because that's how you become a king. That's how people will decide that, okay, sharp, we're gonna live under your rules. We're gonna trust you to lead us. You know what I mean? You need to have some sort of power over a certain society, and they grow, obviously. You know what I mean? You can start with like just your neighborhood, maybe, and then you start and you conquer the next village, or you conquer whatever.
It says here that usually a monarch either personally inherits the lawful right to exercise the state's sovereign rights, or
that's
is selected by an established process from a family or cohort eligible to provide the nation's monarch.
You see what I mean? It's the family that's.
Or alternatively, an individual might proclaim themselves a monarch, which might be backed and legitimated through acclamation, right of conquest, or a combination of means, something like that.
Yeah, but some of those things aren't applicable anymore. You don't have a right of conquest anymore. You can't go somewhere and just like invade them and take over. That's actually a crime. That's actually a crime now, internationally. So you can't just do that.
Shit, man. It's been a heavy week. All right, cool. Let's get into it. Cardi B, first female rapper.
Go Diamond.
To reach diamond status for Bodak Yellow. I actually went back to the before the track became Bodak Yellow, when I think she had braids on. She put out the video. I think she was in a studio, like a lousy studio, bruh. And she was actually rapping the song, right? And
this was before it dropped.
This was before it dropped. This was before it dropped and before it gained any sort of traction. And I don't know, it's been about how many years? 5 years?
Oh no, it's not that many.
4 years.
Bodak Yellow was probably what? I'd say maybe 3 years at most.
It's crazy.
Think about it.
I just wonder if you know, like maybe when you're an upcoming or even an already established artist, do you know when you've got a hit on your hand? Of that
not
magnitude.
Always. I think it depends as well, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about like with Ricky as well. I've heard him speak about like Amantombazane as well.
Sure.
Right? Like when he first dropped that song, it didn't hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did say that he wasn't even like getting gigs that December.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the next year he did the remix, and that took off, and like both of the songs took off, and suddenly he's a superstar.
And then shortly after that, whole thing came out. I think that was years later. I think
what
whole thing with Frank. And then
that was
years later. Ne?
I think he was more putting Frank on, but yeah. I think at that point Ricky was already established as a household name.
Why do you think? And I mean, I hate it so much when we still say first female anything. You know, why do you think it's taken so long for any female rapper? And I think right now we've got a lot of them. And I mean, we've had great ones. Nikki. We've had
Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott,
Queen. I think think
Queen Latifah,
Queen
as
Latifah,
well. Yeah.
Eve. We've had a
Foxy Brown.
and
the list is endless.
the list is endless. But why do you think that it's taken so long for a female rapper to reach the status?
I think it's the status itself that's the problem with that in this situation. I mean, how many people actually do ever go diamond, period?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, first point, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Do you think it could be a thing of a different era? Right now, it's easier to go get a hold of music. So,
that helps.
So if
that helps.
If the older
that
generation
helps.
was,
I think going
was
viral
dropping
very
now,
helps.
if the older generation was dropping now, do you think they would have possibly reached the same success?
Yeah. Well, I think maybe Nicki Minaj, if anyone.
Yeah, no, she definitely did.
She definitely did it. I think maybe as well because like the internet was not as connected as it is now. Although like the internet was already there when Nicki Minaj first came out. But I feel like when she first came out, she really like came in with a bang. She really could have had like something that went diamond.
Right. Just one other thing, and I know me and you have spoken about this. I think 2 years ago when Cardi dropped, I think when Cardi dropped her album, and we said it was so good. But I think the question that always arose or came about was, we know she doesn't write her own raps, or we know she's got someone who's helping her write. Can she be considered as top anything because of the mere fact that she probably doesn't write, or she doesn't write her own raps?
I think that depends on like each person's barometers for what they consider a great rapper. Some people will tell you Dr. Dre is a great rapper. Some people will tell you Kanye West is a great rapper. For me, if I'm gonna consider you the GOAT rapper, then I need to know that you write your own shit. Personally, you know, it doesn't matter how great
hip-hop people are so touchy.
It doesn't matter how great the music is because, like, as a rapper, it's rhythm and poetry. So if you're not behind the poetry, you're literally just a face. You're the performance. You know what I mean? You're not the art itself. The art is in writing. Whereas with singing, like the art is in the voice. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's like if you found out Beyonce was like lip syncing all these years. You're gonna feel offended. You know what I mean? You're gonna feel like
she's automatically out of
she's automatically out of running because it's not her voice.
Sure,
you know what I mean? So we listen to singers for their voices.
Sure.
We listen to rappers for their raps. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it doesn't need you to have any special kind of voice to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's something that you need to just go do and like write your own raps, make them dope, make them clever, make them witty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, if I'm gonna say a GOAT rapper, I need to know that you write your own stuff.
That you pen your own stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. And I think that's another thing the hip hop community had an issue with when it came to locally. That is when it came to Boiti. I remember when she first dropped.
I still have that issue. I won't even lie. I have that issue.
When she first dropped that banger with Nasty C, and then she dropped another one, and she for me she still doesn't have any misses, by the way. But the one thing that hangs around her is, but bro, you don't write your own shit.
That's true, but it doesn't really matter that much actually. For me, unless she's actually like aiming to be known as like the greatest rapper.
Yeah. Unless if she's going around proclaiming that I'm the greatest female rapper, or I'm the greatest rapper.
And I don't think I've heard it say that.
Sure. Then the first question would be, but do you write your own shit?
Yeah.
Alright. Shout out to Cardi, Diamond status. If any of you guys probably don't know, that's about 10 million units moved. So that's something very, very massive. And like we said, how many years down the line for us in 2021?
And that's actually relatively quickly, actually, because I think 50 Cent is close to Diamond, and look how long ago that was.
Shit.
50 still hasn't touched Diamond, and you know how 50 used to sell.
Yeah, no, 50
like he used to sell.
50 used to move units, bro.
Yeah, Get Rich or Die Trying is still not Diamond. It's close, but it's still not Diamond yet. Yeah, so that should just say like the
just in case you are wondering
the magnitude of what Cardi just did
Diamond
right now.
Status means.
It takes a while.
Yeah. I know she's probably also working on her sophomore album now. She just released a single, I think, from the album. I'm assuming it's from the album. It's also doing rounds on TikTok, so I'm expecting that to blow. I think WAP was also gonna be bigger than it actually is if it wasn't for lockdown.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. True.
So she's probably working on a sophomore album. Do you think she's gonna hit the nail again?
I wouldn't say. We can only wait and see, man.
Alright, cool.
Can only wait and see.
Shout out to Cardi. We're waiting for her album. She's doing great things. I'd also really love to see Nicki Minaj get back into the swing of things. She's a mom now, so I'm not sure if she's really into it like that, because I just feel like once you reach a certain age, you don't want to just be living off of raps. And I said this in the previous episode as well.
That's true.
With Cooley.
That's true. But I think she can do it. I don't see why not. I don't like being a dad hasn't stopped any male rappers. You know what I mean?
True.
Although society does handle these things differently,
True.
I think she's actually in the position to do it. You know?
Yeah. Alright, cool.
Just switch up her style.
Shout out to Cardi. Just one other good. I don't know if it's good, but but I guess good. Yeah. Just like off note from Cardi. Good thing that I saw with J Molly. He had some very hard, very threatening tweets that he put out about killing himself, etc. I think over the past week or early March or something like that. Just saw something about that, and apparently now he's taken. He put out a statement that he's taking a break from music. He's checked in himself somewhere to just work on his mental state, etc. How important do you think that is, not just for artists but
for everyone,
but
for
in
everyone?
general?
Yeah, I think a lot of us don't really like keep track of our mental states as well, and like that, it can put you in a very bad place. Like it can like really snowball.
Yeah, I think I saw it a lot in the early stages of lockdown, and all I was purely doing is I was locked in these four walls. I was always working, and the effect that had on me was hectic. I wasn't looking forward to anything. I felt depressed. So I think shout out for J Molly for taking away and I think if more people come out and speak about their mental health issues and they actually do the right thing, check themselves with professionals and they get the right help. I think it and especially if you're in the forefront of, people look up to you probably if you're in the forefront and people notice you and whatever. I think it's very important to speak out about
and destigmatize it as well.
Yeah.
But I think there's also like an access problem as well, because not the average person doesn't have access to those kinds of services.
Again, it goes back to money. What
and it goes back to money as well. And I actually saw, I can't verify whether the person is actually a therapist, but the person was claiming that they're a therapist.
Yeah,
and they said, I think you saw it as well. Yeah. It was like a very viral tweet that, look, we can talk about therapy as much as you want.
I can give you
but
all
at the end of the day, what you there's still socio-economic issues, you know what I mean? You're still going to go home and you're still going to be hungry.
Because of your environment.
And you're still going to be poor and you're still not going to have electricity at home, you know what I mean? It doesn't help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we do need...
And that's why...
We do need leaders to actually just do their jobs and just, make sure that what we're paying tax for, the basic thing we all pay tax for, is to make sure that everybody's okay. You know what I mean? We live in like a healthy society.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Check out, please monitor your mental health. I think they're always tweeting things like the numbers you can call on Twitter, any assistance lines that you can call, free call lines. So yeah, just please, if you feel like you're not in the right space, right frame of mind, the best thing to do is reach out to anybody that you feel like you can help you, or that you feel like you can talk to. 24 years, I think, on the 9th of March, since Biggie passed away. R.I.P. to Biggie. And it got me thinking, right? How much has violence, and I mean we've all said a lot of stuff around Biggie and Park, and I mean because they died so early, right? We felt robbed, and because they died so early
in their primes as well.
In their primes, I mean they forever goated, right? But how much? It just got me thinking, like, how much has violence, and I'm referring to Nippy, Pop Smoke, who was only 20 years when he got killed, I think last year, and he was in his prime. Nipsey was also in his prime when he got shot. Yeah. It got me thinking, how much has violence in the hip hop realm, or in the hip hop culture, robbed us?
I think it robs us of a lot, but I think it's violence in our society as well. You know what I mean? Like, the one thing I do love about hip hop is it's always a reflection of our society. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people like to talk
Those are
shit.
words. Those are bars. Say it again.
Those are facts.
Those are facts. What?
Those are
Say it
facts.
again. Those are facts. Say it again.
The hip hop community.
Yeah.
Fact, I already forgot.
You know when you
Hey,
drop,
squad
you know when you're
there
about
for
to drop a
second.
dope status, ne? And you're writing it, and in your mind it makes so much sense, and you're writing it, and then when you have to write it down again, you're like, fuck, and you miss and you're like, fuck.
Okay,
what's
yeah.
that word? Say it again. Let's try it again.
Let's try it again. Squad, please don't bend me. Hip hop is a reflection of our society.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, you know what I mean? Like if you listen to rappers, I mean, like even if you, for me,
Yeah.
I'm a nerdy person, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I do like to like go back and listen to, you know, like the hip hop that was being made in like the 80s. Okay, I don't think there was like 70s hip hop because I think it was like invented around in the 80s.
Sure.
So like when you listen to like the hip hop in the 80s and the 90s and whatever, and you actually like go look up the history of what was happening at that time, you can actually see where the rhymes are coming from. You know what I mean? Like you can see that, okay, there was like crack cocaine happening in their neighborhoods, and that's why it's what they were rapping about. And if you actually do take time to listen, a lot of people talk shit about like it glorifies the violence, it makes it look cool. You actually see that none of this is actually saying go do it. You know what I mean?
I think it helped. There's that line that says what's that line again? It says something. The future will be televised, or what? The revolution will be televised, and that's what hip hop has always done. Or
yes, that's true.
Do.
That's true.
The revolution is always televised through the rhythm and poetry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's what's happening there. It's like it's this is what's happening in my life.
Sure.
This is what I'm doing every day to survive. It's never, yo, come see, I'm killing people. You know what I'm saying? You should try it sometime. It's never that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I wake up sometimes and miss Nipsey. I didn't know him at all.
You missed what?
I just sometimes go back to his shit, dog. And because for me, I only got wind of Nipsey when he dropped his debut album. Because I mean, that nigga he was a late bloomer in the hip hop sense.
Yeah, that's true.
He was a late bloomer. I think he was about.
But first time
over
I heard
30.
Nipsey was a long time ago. Yo.
He was over 30 when he dropped his debut. He was over 30. That's when I first got wind of him, and from there I went back and listened to his older shit. And sometimes, even till this day, I bump it. And I just feel like I don't know if you've ever gotten that feeling when you listen to someone, you're like, shit, I miss you, dog. No homo, but I miss you, dog. Nah,
I mean, it's understandable. Really, it's understandable. It means like his music connects with you. You know what I mean? You understand what he's saying. You understand what he's feeling.
I really think. I mean,
and that's the beautiful thing about music. It's like a snapshot.
And I'm not from there, but I really think Nipsey's community was really robbed, because for me, Nipsey came across as someone who's bigger than hip hop, whose aim is to do shit way beyond hip hop. Yeah. Where he uses the mic, but his aim was to make shit better in the hood. So I mean, if I was from his hood, man, I'd really feel
robbed.
I'd feel robbed of a lot of shit. And that's what I always think, man. You know, sometimes you get out of the hood, man, but you love the hood so much, and you want to go back and do good for your hood.
Yeah, because you know what's there.
That kills you.
Look, man, it's not always like that black and white, but I mean, you know,
so much jealousy in the hood, though.
I don't know, man. It's okay. I don't know the exact reasons why that guy had for shooting Nipsey, but you know, it's
R.I.P. to all the legends that passed, all the legends that left.
Taken by violence.
Taken by violence. Locally, did we have anybody taken by violence?
Violence.
Flabba, I think Flabba.
Oh yeah, Flabba was stabbed by his girlfriend. I actually never got the story on what happened with Pro.
I think
because it was all very murky.
I could be wrong, but I think he was on something and I think he OD'd or something. I could be wrong, but I think Pro was on something. You can check that. I can quickly check.
I never found out what happened to Pro.
What killed Pro?
But I think as well, like with our side as well. I guess we're not living in the same society as Americans as well, obviously. But I think the thing with our OGs as well, I think a lot of them were just left unappreciated, and they just struggled to get by. And I think they do have to probably deal with like a whole lot of mental health issues as well. You know what I mean? Because like you've done so much, you were so huge, and you don't really have all that much to show for it. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking about like Double HP as well. He was probably like hella depressed because like you know what I mean. Look what he did for the game. And like, did we really give him his flowers? I don't think so.
Yeah, I really don't think Double HP, especially towards the end, I really don't think he got his flowers. And some of the stories that I heard towards the end, and I mean I've been fortunate enough like to sit down with Double HP the time I was still in radio, and this was 2016 I think. And that guy really wasn't okay. Like you didn't even have to know him to hear that he wasn't okay. Then later on I heard his interview on radio. I was listening to radio and I heard his interview, and he was talking about how depressed he actually was and how many times he tried committing suicide. So yeah, man, I think a lot of people let WHP down. But also I don't know if it was on them, but that's how I feel about it though. It's kind of like I don't know if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I think we just live in a society that doesn't appreciate our artists. I think South Africa just generally just doesn't know how to appreciate, you know what I mean, our artists. Yeah. Because there's a long list of people. I mean, like when you think about like your Zulu boys, we were just talking about him the other day, re-releasing the music video, and we were actually talking about this actually looks like a really low budget production. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's probably because he doesn't have the money for a high budget production. Yeah. You know what I mean? You look at who else was there? Flabba, yeah. Flabba was still living in Alexandra when he was killed. Shit. You know what I mean? Like these are legends of the game. You know what I mean?
Where's Amu now? It's probably also idea. Not even. Yo.
I have no idea. But these guys are the guys that actually built the foundation for, you know, a lot of what's happening right now. A lot of niggas are doing well right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? These guys laid the foundation. These guys weren't getting all their money's worth. And I do sort of remember that a lot of them did have like day jobs as well at the time, because like the music just wasn't paying enough.
And that's what I actually love about Drake, that no matter where he goes, no matter how the heights he's reaching, he always says all of this shit wouldn't have been possible without Wayne. I mean, he's even got Wayne's face tattooed on his arm or something like that. Yeah,
I did not know that.
So, and I mean, we heard him as well on the 3-pack that he dropped. He said that, I mean, we're all grateful of what Wayne has done. Wayne literally birthed a new generation of artists, but no one is more grateful for Wayne more than me. So yeah,
that's because Wayne literally put him on.
But we really need to give the OGs their flowers while they're still alive. RIP to all the legends that passed, from violence. That shit, I think, man, in today's world, that shit shouldn't still be happening. Personally, I think. But like you said, hip hop is always a reflection of
the community.
So yeah, Grammy's coming up. First of all, shout out to Trevor Noah. He's gonna be the host.
Trevor Noah is just doing everything right now. Like this is Trevor Noah's world, and we just live in it. Like we just living here.
Imagine the amount of money that guy's raking in. Dog. But before we even get into the Grammys, right? I watched something from Trevor, I think a year or two ago, where he came back to South Africa. I think he did like I don't know if it was a Netflix or a DSTV special or something along those lines. And he went back to his grandmother, I think. And one thing, I don't know what's it about keeping where you come from so old and not building or making it modern. I don't know, does it always show that I come from the struggle or something? Because
it's tricky, man. It's tricky.
The amount of money that Trevor's making, dog.
Look, I don't know. Hey, it's difficult to say. I can't say that because I've never been in his position.
You've never had his money, yeah.
Yeah, I've never had his money. So I don't know what the reasons would be for that. But then again, maybe his grandmother wants to stay where she is.
True.
You know what I mean? True. And she probably has her needs taken care of.
True.
You know what I mean? So I don't know what the thing is as well. But I think I've had this chat with my mom as well.
Like, what would you want me to do for you?
If I had like a lot of money and I wanted to like move you out the hood, she was like, nah.
I'm perfectly fine here.
She was like, I'm perfectly
Thank
fine.
you, Samakui.
Yeah, like don't take me over there. I'm gonna hate it there. Like just leave me here with
right
my people.
Yeah, man. So
That's
Grammys,
also like a thing.
they're playing. I mean, we're recording this on the 13th. They're playing on the 14th, so Sunday. 2 days of Saturday. They're playing on the 14th. We quickly just gonna go through the nominations list, and obviously specific to hip hop, to the rap.
Because we don't care about anything else.
We really don't care about anything else. So we'll just go through some of the stuff, and I guess we'll just leave our 2 cents worth. Yeah, I'll just quickly go through it. So best rap song, right? The Box by Roddy Ricch is nominated. That was a big one.
Ooh, okay. That's a very strong start. Okay.
That was a big one in 2020. Laugh Now, Cry Later was also a big one. It's also nominated there. Rockstar by The Baby.
Okay.
There's just something about The Baby, right? I don't know if it's just me, and he came in with a bang, and he's good, right? In his own space, right?
Yeah.
I'm not critiquing him or anything, but there's just something about The Baby. I feel like if you've listened to one The Baby song, you've listened to all of them.
Yeah, he has a style. He has a lane, and he's doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, The Baby with Rockstar.
He probably also doesn't want to like isolate his core fan base as well.
True. And then also we have Beyonce, Megan Thee Stallion with Beyonce, Savage, and that was a big one for me.
Okay, yeah, that was a huge one.
That was Big B came through there.
That was a huge one.
That was a huge one.
Are those the nominations?
Yeah, for the best rap song.
It's gonna be between The Box and Savage.
Yeah, nah. I think The Box was big. Roddy was big in 2020, so he definitely deserves something. But man, B came through on Savage.
But it shouldn't be about popularity. This is the Grammys. This is not who sold the most.
No,
that's why I'm coming up
with
the top two.
I'm not even talking numbers, because I think if we're talking numbers, probably you think B or The Box. I think The Box, numbers wise. But man, B did something on that track, man.
Roddy Ricch did something on that shit.
No. But B. So
no,
yeah.
like,
so I mean, I won't even disagree with you. I think rightfully so. It should either be The Box or Savage. Best rap album. I think this is a highly contentious one.
It's a very strong lineup. And surprisingly, it's not like just the best selling rap album.
Yeah.
Usually what you have is just like
the best selling rappers.
Yeah.
So usually
now you actually have like some real rappers
rap
on
album
there.
Normally is like a popularity contest.
Yeah.
But this one you actually have niggas who rap.
Yeah.
In this
There's
category.
a lot of pedigree right now.
So we got D-Smoke. He won the competition there on Netflix, and I think he's actually the younger brother of. D-Smoke is actually related to that guy. Is it Smino? Not Smino. Let me tell you. I'll tell you now. Huh?
Is it Sir?
Yeah, I think Sir. Yeah.
Because that's the first time I heard him.
Yeah, he's actually.
You won't believe it, but I used to listen to Sir back in like 2015. That's like the first time he had a song with D-Smoke on
D-Smoke.
that. Yeah, that's the first time I heard him. Apparently, he was still like working a day job at the time as well.
Yeah, I think because he's a teacher as well. He's a teacher. He left his teaching job. I think by the time when he went on that Netflix rapping show, which he ultimately won, he was still like a Portuguese teacher or something like. Because he dibbles and dabbles between English and Portuguese or something like that. D-Smoke is actually quite good. I don't know if you've listened to his album that he dropped last year as well. It reminds me a lot of Kendrick in some of the songs. Got a very... He's also very conscious, and he gives you a vivid picture of the hood that he comes from. He, like you said, like it gives you a clear picture of the struggles in their community, the struggles of a black man, the struggles of growing up without your father, the struggles with the police. He paints that so well. So D-Smoke's album for me it deserves to be there. The next one is Alfredo. It's Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist.
I'm biased here, I won't lie.
First time I got to listen to Freddie Gibbs, and I think after I heard that you put me onto him as well, I went back to his older shit.
Yeah. For me, like he was literally the number one most played artist on my Spotify. Like when I got
Yeah.
back the results, he was number one, ahead of my usual faves, which would be like Lupe Fiasco's and Kanye West's.
Yeah.
So I'm biased there.
That was also a very
That's
good
my
album. So far, yeah.
That's my shit.
J Electronica with a written testimony. I personally have my doubts with this one. I don't think it should win. It was a decent album. His debut album.
I don't think it's even like top 3.
Yeah, his debut album. I think we've spoken about this as well last year. We've had a personal conversation about this because we had highly anticipated when he said he's actually gonna drop.
I think the whole hip hop world has been waiting for.
Yeah, I mean we've been waiting over 10 years,
nigga.
right? And then we kind of just got an album with him and Hove the whole way. For me personally, it's an album that still makes its rounds on my playlist. So for me, it is a good album. Lyrically, it is there. He is putting out a message.
Yeah.
But when I look at the category and when I look at who he's going up against, I really don't think J Electronica should win this. And also for me, I felt like we've waited over a decade for your album. The last thing, and I mean, I don't know if this is even something that I can critique you about, but the last thing that I want to hear is Hove with you all the way.
I was about to say that he was leaning a bit too much on Hove.
He was leaning too much on Hove.
He was leaning on Hove though.
You know? And I think also because when Hove did a joint album with Kanye, we got a masterpiece, right? And this didn't reach Watch the Throne levels. So maybe that's also another thing. When we listen to it, you expect, okay, cool, it's a joint album. You've got Hove, right? We had Hove with Kanye, and that was a masterpiece. You know, 2010 was probably Kanye's best year. Because he in that very same year, within 12 months, he released Watch the Throne and he released Runaway. Not Runaway.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted
my Beautiful Black Dark Twisted Fantasy, right?
Yeah.
So that was Kanye's probably best 12 months there. But for me, it's like, okay, cool. It sounds like you're using Jay. Well, they're both Jays, but it sounds like you're using Hove as a crutch, one. And two, the last time we got a joint album from Hove, or the last best album, the last best joint album we got included Hove, and it was Watch the Throne. So
Hove actually had a joint album with his wife, and it was trash.
Let's be honest, the Hove and Kanye probably just need to make up. And I think now maybe because
I think they actually
Kanye,
bring the best out of each other. Actually, I don't
Yeah.
think either of them has been great since they had their little
and I think
breakup.
maybe, and I'm not blaming anything on Kim, but I think maybe because the divorce is underway, we might see Watch the Throne 2. I really hope Watch the Throne 2 comes out. But anyways, so yeah, a written testimony, J Electronica, we saying, sharp, cool, you nominated, but really you shouldn't win when we look at the other nominations.
Yeah, no, not really.
King's Disease is there by Nas. I've listened to that album. Not sure if it should be there. It was a good album.
No,
It was a decent album.
I think it should be there. I just don't think it will be great value for the win. I think if they give it to him, it's just gonna be because it's Nas, and we probably owe him a Grammy at some point in his life. You know what I mean?
Shit.
That's what I think it would be. Probably, I don't know.
But it was a decent. I think after so many years to still go out and give us something like that, solid album like that.
Klaus
like
is
that.
permanent.
Yeah, Klaus is permanent. The last one in nominated in that list is Royce the 5'9". The album's called The Allergy. Personally, I can't say much about this. The Allegory. Sorry about that. Thanks. Personally, I can't say anything about that because I haven't listened to it, so it would be very disingenuous.
I actually haven't listened to it either. Funny enough, I do listen to his podcast, but I haven't listened to his album.
So yeah, that's a bit of a tough one. Let's see if we've got any more.
For me, I've got my favorite already because I'm already biased.
Alfredo.
Yeah,
I'd really love to see D-Smoke win this.
Really?
I thoroughly enjoyed D-Smoke. I think also I'm also biased because I actually watched the Netflix show, right? And I saw him coming up, right? And I saw the things that he could do, right? And yeah, like the same way you're biased, I think I'm also biased towards D-Smoke. So I'd really love to see.
I understand though. Like I've always had this thing where I've said like with rappers, we do think we choose our favorites based purely on their music, but I think it's usually because we find ourselves in them some way. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you sort of find like a way you relate to them,
Exactly.
and you just form like a connection with them. So for me personally, I don't blame you, but I think for me, Freddie should take it.
And I think that's about it when it comes to rap. I'm just trying to look through the list.
I doubt there's anything else.
Yeah, there's really nothing else.
Last year was a slow year in any case.
Yeah, there's really nothing else to speak about here, but I really need to revisit Beyonce's verse on Savage. Damn, it's probably top verses that we got last year, and it wasn't even that dope, but just the flow. Or maybe because it was coming from a singer.
Maybe you're a beehive. Maybe you might be maybe you might be like a secret member of the beehive and you just didn't know.
I love B, bro. I think just like Drake, if you don't love B, there's something wrong with you. But anyways, we're gonna wrap it up. That's pretty much all we got for episode 3. I don't know if there's anything else from your side.
No, I think we touched on everything.
We pretty much touched on everything. Go watch the Grammys. Our next episode will probably be revisiting this topic to just talk about the winners, etc. Before we wrap up, any new artists that you've got on your playlist that you would recommend to people?
I mean, I wouldn't say they're new, but there are some slept on artists. Yeah. You know, for me, I was telling you in the car as well, I listen to like a lot of UK niggas as well.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of them making like great music right now.
Yeah.
You know, there's a rapper called Gets. Yeah. He just dropped an album like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Very, very, very solid album. Heady One as well. Very, very solid artist.
So this is all the grime music, all the drill. It's not
grime, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of it is drill, but some of it is just like it's hip hop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of it will just sound familiar. It's just that the guy will have like a British accent.
Yeah.
And there might be some British slang that you don't understand, but
sure.
You know, you can call me and ask me. Ask me what it means.
On my side, probably go check out.
I forgot J Hus. I have to mention J Hus. J Hus dropped.
Is he also from UK?
Yeah, J Hus.
I know this guy. This guy's in UK shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Please don't diss the UK mandem like that. Please.
Hey, this guy's a mandem, man.
Low key, I am a mandem. But yeah, I think J Hus actually probably gave me my favorite album of last year.
No, I'll definitely check it out. For me, just looking through my playlist because I really love to give praise to the more unknown guys. Okay, she isn't unknown, but she just dropped another EP, and I was madly in love with her album last year, Chica. She's really dope. I really think everyone should go check her out. Actually, she just dropped an EP which I was bumping from yesterday. So yeah, go check it out. Locally, this person came on my radar just like literally a minute before we went live. Toxic, please go check that one out. He's from Witbank. Really, really dope.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I've actually just added three of his albums. I'm gonna bump them this whole week.
Yeah, you might start to get Toxic propaganda for the next couple of episodes. So
yeah,
be warned.
So yeah, go check him out. Toxic, local guy from Witbank. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Episode 3, UnFit Podcast, signed, sealed, delivered. Yeah, thank you for tuning in, man. Just consume the stuff. Comment, like, subscribe. We'd really like to know.
Send money.
Any feedback. Send money. You know, like we said, we in need of a mixer. We would really like to hear what you think about the show in its entirety. What you think about the episode. What you think about the shit that we even say. All of this shit is pretty much barely rehearsed. It's not even rehearsed at all. We literally just come in and just say shit straight off the dome. So yeah, check us out. We on YouTube, we on Anchor, we on Apple Music, Spotify. UnFit Podcast is the name. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm Lefa, your main guy.
Thato with the facts.
Signing out. Peace.